Welcome to the Dash Mindset Podcast. I'm Sherry Zudenbergen. You were born, you're gonna die, and your adventure is your dash in between. So make the most of it. Unlock your potential in all aspects of your dash by embracing your uniqueness and living in a way that's authentic to you, not by doing more things, but by focusing on the right things. I'm a former corporate leader turned coach who's on my own journey, and I'm passionate about helping you on your journey too. So on the podcast, we'll explore how to live authentically by deciphering who you truly are and what you truly want. Are you ready to take a step toward designing your dash? Someday doesn't actually exist, so let's do it now.
Hello, it's Sherry, and I would love to know where you land on something. Do you love dandelions or do you hate them? Because I feel like people have very strong opinions about dandelions, and they have a tendency to come out in the spring. I mean, the opinions as well as the dandelions. And personally, I love them. I have fond memories of our boys bringing me little bouquets of dandelions when they were little, and it was just the cutest, sweetest thing. And so I love them. They make me happy. They still make me happy. They're one of the first signs of spring, which happens to be my favorite season. It means that snow is probably finally over here in Iowa. And I know a lot of people don't feel that way. And to be clear, I'm not unaware of everything that comes with dandelions. I know they spread, they have a tendency to take over, they're hard to get rid of. I get why people don't like them. And they still make me happy. They just do. And no one else's opinion is going to change that for me. So that's kind of the point of this episode. Not because I think your perspective on my love of dandelions really matters to either one of us, but because this is what we do. We decide something is one way and assume everyone else should see it the same way. We do that a lot. And dandelions is just one example of where we often have very strong opinions and really have a hard time accepting when other people have a very different one. So it reminds me of a story. Every spring I think of this when I see dandelions in our yard. It reminds me of a story a friend shared with me. So at one point he was the president of his daughter's PTA, I think, or the school board or something very important where he had a president role. Okay. And parents were calling him. So he was the president. And one day he got a call from a parent who was furious about the dandelions on the school property. So his daughter was at a private school. And so this particular parent had a very strong opinion of what needed to happen. And she just could not believe they were allowing weeds to grow on the campus. And she wanted them gone. And she clearly had a very strong opinion about it. She had a strong enough opinion that she called him. And then just a little while later, he got another call from a different parent who called just to share how happy she was to see the dandelions on the school property. And she just saw them as a natural sign of spring. And she was just so grateful that they weren't getting rid of them. Same dandelions, completely different reactions. And this is what happens all the time. Two people can look at the exact same thing and see something completely different and have a very different reaction to it. Same conversation, same situation, same moment, same whatever, different reactions. One person thinks, oh, this is exciting. I love this. Another thinks, this is a problem. This is terrible. I just can't deal with it. One hears feedback and thinks, oh, that's super helpful. Another hears the same exact thing and thinks, wow, that was terrible. Same situation, completely different interpretations. And when that happens, we tend to make it mean something. We assume the other person just doesn't get it. They just don't understand. They're missing something. If they saw all of the details, they would agree with me. But a lot of the time, it's not that they don't understand. It's just that they see something different. They're looking at it differently. Because what's driving our reactions isn't just what's happening in the moment. It's not the circumstance itself. It's everything underneath it. It's our past experiences. It's our beliefs, our preferences, our expectations, what we think should be happening. And that's the part we don't see within ourselves a lot of times, most of the time. And we also don't see all the stuff underneath for the other people. But that's what's actually shaping how we respond to things, how everyone is responding. And this is where something I talk about a lot comes in, our capacity for difference. How much space we have to hold a perspective that's not our own, to actually, I'll say, allow a perspective that's different from our own without immediately needing to fix it or to prove it wrong. Because when that capacity within ourselves is low, anything that doesn't match our view feels frustrating or wrong or even threatening sometimes. But when we expand that capacity for difference, we can recognize, oh, wait a minute, they're not wrong necessarily. They're just seeing something different than I am. So maybe what they're saying is right for them, and what I'm seeing is right for me. Both can be true. And this is also where we tend to go next. We start trying to prove our perspective is the right one. We explain, we justify, we try to get the other person to understand. And what comes to mind a lot of times when I'm thinking this through is times I've been in Europe, and I'm just saying Europe, in particular, because in college, this particular example comes to mind. In college, I went over to, and I was traveling in Europe. And I remember at that time, because this was still the 1900s, folks, okay, I saw a particularly high number of Americans who had a tendency to just speak English louder when someone didn't understand. And I don't know if it's because it was my first time abroad or if it's because fewer people spoke English back then. And we've just gotten more and more spoiled as Americans, I suppose. But I would see Americans speaking loudly in English if someone didn't understand. They're talking to someone who doesn't know English, clearly. And they just thought, okay, if I just speak louder, they'll understand. And they would get louder and louder and louder. Yet the person still doesn't understand because they didn't know English, right? So now this isn't about opinions necessarily, but truly sometimes we just feel like, okay, if we just get louder, if we explain more, if we justify, the other person will understand. But most of the time that isn't the case. There isn't necessarily a clear right or wrong. It's just different perspectives, different lenses. And when we can recognize that, there's a lot less pressure, a lot less of a need to convince other people. There's less friction all around. And so we're coming back to the dandelions. I don't need to convince someone else to love dandelions. It really doesn't matter. I don't need to explain why they're wrong for not liking them. I'm not going to dig up the dandelions in my yard and dump them onto someone else's lawn. So I can like them. They cannot like them. And we can both be just fine. And that's where things start to feel a lot easier because instead of trying to change the other person, we can just get curious. What are they seeing? What matters to them? What's underneath their reaction? What is it about dandelions or whatever that they dislike? Where's that coming from? Because there's a really good chance we're both looking at the same dandelion. So I'd love to know what's going on for you. Do you love dandelions? Do you hate dandelions? And more importantly, where are the dandelions showing up in your life right now? What are some of the dandelions showing up for you that other people have a very different opinion about? And why might it be that their opinion is so different? And is that okay? Is it really threatening you? Or does it just kind of feel like a threat to you? Are they really going to dig up those dandelions and dump them in your yard? Really? So if something clicked for you as you were listening to this, I really encourage you, don't just move on. Say, oh, that was nice. Okie doke. Yeah, I like dandelions, or I don't, or I'm going to go, spray them today, whatever. Really think about what some of those things in your life are right now and pay attention to that. And if you would like some help thinking through what's underneath that response for you, why you're reacting the way you are to whatever it is, the dandelions or whatever it is for you, I would love for you to reach out. I would love to talk about it and help you explore that and get curious. So I hope this was helpful for you in some way. I hope you have an amazing day, week, all the things. And I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much for listening to the Dash Mindset Podcast. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe on your favorite podcast player, tell your friends, and leave us a review. Follow me on my social media platforms highlighted in the show notes and get in touch with me at the-mindset.com. Share the topics you'd like me to explore in future episodes. Thanks again for listening to the Dash Mindset Podcast. We'll see you next time. Design and differentiate your Dash your way and make today amazing.